Hi everyone, welcome back to Gary, the Garden Novice. Today, or this afternoon shall I say, I'm going to take these few tomato plants out. They're finished, few fruits on them. I know they're green, but I'm going to take them off. They might ripen on the shelf, but there's not many now. I've done really well out of the tomatoes, I can't complain. I got to get these beds prepared for winter crops. So let's get these tomatoes out and get sorted. Right, I'm going to start with removing the fruits. What I'm going to do is take them off with a bit of truss. Might just, I don't know whether it helps to ripen them or not, but that's what I'm going to do. Just lay them on the shelf, and then the actual plant itself I'm going to cut up the smaller pieces, and that goes on my compost. As so. This string system didn't work. I tried to use sisal string, not thinking that it would rot in the ground, so I need to get some paracord or some nylon type string. But the beauty of this jute stuff, it does just decompose in the ground, so I can just drop it on the floor and dig it in, or it'll rot in. So I'm cutting these up to around about 25mm pieces. And it rots on quicker. Anybody interested in making their own compost, Charles Dowden is a good one to watch on YouTube. I bought his compost making book last year, and it's really useful, and I'm following it. I'm making some cracking compost. I'll show you later on where I sieved and bagged ready for the spring yesterday. There's a couple more tomatoes on that one. Stick up by the truss. And this one gets chopped up in the barrow. So that'll rot down with the rest of my stuff in the garden compost bay over winter. I always wear gloves when you're working with tomatoes and cutting them up, because the green stuff called tomato tar gets on your hands, and it's a bugger to get off. Never get off. So I'm going to crack on with these ones. I'll put you on time lapse so you don't miss nothing, and then I'll see how far we get with these. I might leave the marigolds because they're still quite pretty, and I'm going to save some of the seed. So I'll leave the marigolds and take the tomatoes. Yes, I'm really pleased with how few green tomatoes I've got left. So last year I had loads of green tomatoes. This year I have lots of sun. Looks like that's helped ripen most of them. So it's the last one to chop out. Let's chop it up nicely, this. and my garden waste compost bay from all my peelings and leaves and waste from home and stuff from around here. I emptied the oldest one, riddled it, the bottom half, and then put on top of the new one the remains of it, so I can empty 2 bays ready for some horse manure hopefully, and that horse manure will rot down in 2 of my bays, and I'll transfer it into one once it sinks, and that's next year's compost for the garden. Right, that's all my tomatoes cut down. I just need to lift them out the ground and clean the soil up. Right, this is my last bed to clean up. A few weeds at the back of the beds between the polycarbonate and the bed I'll rake out and clean these up here, leaving the marigolds in to get some seed off them. So let's get cracking with this. Right, that's it, all cleaned up. Just use my sort of 3-prong cultivator to break the lumps down. And it's probably going to be brassicas or salad being planted in here, depending what comes up first. I'd imagine brassicas in this bed. And they're currently just seedlings on my bench. Right, give this a little tickle over here. Right, that's 3 beds cleaned up. Right, I'm going to empty these buckets next, I think, and then empty in the tunnel nicely. These 3 buckets had tomatoes in, so let's get these emptied out. Let's just put these canes down there for now. Let's go and empty these into my wheelbarrow. And then I'll recycle this compost. I found this year that my tomatoes were better in the ground than they were in these tubs. So next year I won't be using these tubs. Not for tomatoes anyway. A couple of labels to clean up. I've got a pile of plant labels to clean up. That page up on its own, that. Nice. I'll sieve this soil, this compost, and back it up for use next year. I'll mix it with coir, or I'll mix it with some garden compost which I've just riddled yesterday. Nice. Wants to be nice, it was clover. Yeah, there's a good 60 litres there. So I'll sieve, clean up, and that'll do for next year's plants. Right, the compost I was telling you about earlier, that I sieved yesterday, the garden compost. I'll show you the quality, the result of that. Let's move these boards. Look at that, lovely. Now that's just garden waste, potato peelings, tea bags, leaves from the garden, cardboard, anything biodegradable mixed up. And I've got 4 bags of good garden waste compost. That was the manure, horse manure that's rotted down the last few months. So that'll spread on this little patch here where my onions were. Then peas can come out. There's no more in there really worth picking. So that'll spread right across there. And the leeks, I'm going to start and pick these leeks because it looks like they're bolting with the heat. I've got some better ones further down. So we'll have some of them leeks for tea, leek and potato soup maybe. And then the 2 bays I emptied yesterday. That's what the manure was in. That's what the garden waste was in. So I'll have them filled it with horse manure next to rot down. And then my garden waste is topped up in here. Look, that's up to 40 degrees already, look at nearly 50 degrees in fact. It's warming up nicely. So that'll help rot that down. And 3 or 4 months time I'll turn that and then sieve the bottom bit. Then there'll be another 3 or 4 bags of garden waste compost. You can see the tunnel's looking much cleaner now. Now all the tomato plants are up. Not many green ones to use up. I get some seed off these marigolds when they finish flowering. These are all year round cauliflower. They need a bit of a water. These are carnation plants, these are for home. And these are Cape gooseberries. They've got the fruits on them, but they're not ripe yet. That's one of the little flowers, pretty little flowers. And my Durham early cabbage and broccoli marathon. They're what I picked out 2 days ago and they're shooting away. My turnip Tokyo cross They're all starting to come through now. Holly on collie, a few more. I may put some more because there's not me germinated there. My spinach is starting to grow, a couple not come through, and some rocket and some radish and some spring onions. They're all shooting away nicely. Then the Arctic king lettuce. So some of these will be in these beds. Right, I think that's me for today. Done quite a lot. Feel as if I've accomplished what I needed to do. Well, my bed's cleaned. Probably be back tomorrow. And it's been a pleasure having you along. Please subscribe if not already done so, and like the channel. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.